Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. It's me, your girl Sarah Donald, and this channel we talk everything Japada moving to Nigeria. And I'm trying something new on this channel as well. I want to do like an African tour, and also because most of my followers are interested in moving to Africa, so it might not necessarily be Nigeria. How about I go to other countries and tell you guys about this country so you can know if it's, what you might be interested in. So my first stop was Rwanda, Kigali. I absolutely enjoyed my stay in Rwanda. Before I tell you guys about the things that I loved about Rwanda, first of all, I want to say that if you have a Nigerian passport, it is now visa on arrival. Yippee! So yeah, oftentimes visa on arrival still means that you have to get your visa before you come. I think that's how they used to do it before in Kenya. But this one is actually visa on, like before, visa on arrival meant that you don't have to go for any interview, just book it while you're booking your flight and all that. It was quite, it's still easy. Then you pay a fee. But this time around, it's actually the real meaning of visa on arrival, meaning they stamp it when you come in, so you don't need any form of visa. So for Nigerian passport holders who are interested in touring African countries, this is one of it. And if you're new here, or maybe you're not conversant, you're like, do you need visa going around Africa? That's a conversation for another day. But yes, this synergy was, I think it was recently signed, and it's amazing because I've seen a lot of creators now going to Rwanda because of this. So I went with my Nigerian passport, no issues at all. I didn't even pay a visa fee because I checked online and they said something like $100, $150. I believe that is, I don't know, maybe it's for students, maybe it's for work, I don't know, but I had that ready. And when I got there, they asked me how many days I was staying. I said I was staying for 5 days. They asked me for my accommodation and I gave them where I was staying, and then they stamped it. I didn't have to pay anything. So yes, that's a very important thing to note. But you have to have your yellow fever card. Yes, if you're using a Nigerian passport, you have to get your yellow fever card. Mine had expired. It was already past 10 years. So in order not to have any issue of going there if it's still working, I had to go to the office, to the government office close to the airport. 10 days. You must do this 10 days before you travel to actually take the vaccine. So yes, that will last me for another 10 years. That also costs me about, I think, 6,000 naira. So thereabouts, 6,000 naira. It was like 5,000 something. Then printing, well, total, because if you go on the website, I was finding it difficult to register and pay on the website. So that's fine if you're not able to do that. When you get there, they'll do it. I think that extra money is printing or something like that. But yes, you can also do it in a private hospital. I don't know about this. I contacted a private hospital. One, they told me it was 60K, which is way 6K, 60K. Then secondly, I didn't want any issue of going to the airport and they told me that, oh, this is not approved. I know that there is no way I'll do it in a government hospital and you come and tell me that it's not approved. So that's another way I had to prepare. Yes, I used their flight. It was a direct flight. It was good. It was about 5 hours going, 6 hours coming, because when I was coming, they stopped in Ghana and the stop was quite fast as well. So my experience with Air Rwanda was very okay. The staff were nice. The plane was clean. Everything, there was no delay when they said they were going to go. Leave was when they left. It was absolutely smooth. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's just 5 hours. Sometimes we stay in Lagos traffic for like 5 hours. So yeah, anyway, yeah, so my ticket cost me about 1 point something. That's because I made the decision late. No wonder flights within Africa are so expensive, because the plane is literally like, it's not that full at all. I won't say it's empty, but it's not full to capacity. So regardless, even if it's just 5 people or 4 people, they still have to fly. So the very few ones that fly end up taking the entire, cost, because obviously cost of landing, flying, and all that. So I feel like African government should come together more and encourage tourism within African countries. I think, yeah, tickets are about 800,000, 600, depends, because there are other airlines you can use. Air Morocco, there's so many airlines, Air Peace, but obviously I wanted like a direct flight. So if you're coming from Nigeria, you can check your options based on how much you're willing to spend on the ticket and how fast you want to arrive. There's Qatar that will stop you in Qatar and then go. So it all depends on you. But yes, everyone was quite smooth. So one of the first things that I loved and noticed about Rwanda was the cleanliness. The cleanness and order. See, Rwanda is very clean. I know that, like, it is very clean. You can't even see anything on the floor. And people have this picking culture. Let me tell you one experience I had about the cleaning. First of all, in Nigerian airports, I wrapped my bag. Yes, by the way, those bags, one use, they're not allowed. So I wrapped my bag in Nigerian airports. Once I got there, they gave us scissors to cut it off and trash it because they don't want you bringing that into their country. So if they see you like any nylon bag and all that, they are going to remove it at the airport to make sure you're not carrying like none of that, which is very, very, very good. So Rwanda is very clean. I remember when I went to the center, I saw this lady, emphasis on, she was kind of like leaping, right? Emphasis on that because guess what? This woman was leaping and she was holding a bottle. She had finished drinking water. The Nigerian in me, and they were like, there's a way that place was like trees around there. The Nigerian in me was just thinking that this woman will fling that thing because that is what a typical Nigerian would have done. Now, first of all, this is not about comparing countries, but this is about learning from this country. Yeah. So it's not just clean because they have cleaners everywhere. It is clean because the citizens themselves have a clean culture. Yeah. And it's a crime to throw things around. So whatever it is you're holding, if you finish drinking water, hold it and look for a dustbin. And by the way, there are a lot of dustbins around you can throw. So like I said, this woman leaped like it was a long walk and she walked down, threw the thing in the bin and went back to where she was going. Now, like I said, the Nigerian in me, that woman, or just thinking of how that woman would fling that thing because I was kind of like, will I say bush or something? So everywhere is really, really, really clean because they have the clean culture. Even when I went to the market, you have to wash your hands before going into the market. Guys, the market was clean. The way, like, when I saw like the fruits, the crayfish, the way they arranged everything properly, it was clean. So even if it was a market, it still didn't, like, it wasn't smelling, it wasn't dirty just because, you know, it's a market. Everywhere, like public spaces were clean, the bike, everything, like the hotel. So I stayed in this hotel called Luma and Lu. Like, it was really nice as well. If you're looking to go, that's somewhere you should can also check out because the staff were really helpful. They helped me to negotiate with like transport and all that, and they also do like pick up and drop off. It was really good. I had a good time there. Now this hotel costs about $70 and they have some rooms for $70, $80. I think it's more expensive when they are busy. Now, another trick if you want to get good deals traveling to countries, like don't go peak period, like Christmas, summer, all that. It's pretty much more expensive because there are more people coming in. So the room for $70 was really good and most importantly, clean. Clean. If you need housekeeper 3 times a day, clean. These guys have a maintenance culture, which is one thing again that we are lacking in Nigeria. Safety and sense of calm. Like Rwanda feels safe. Like I said, I was like in a boutique hotel on the roadside, came to the, like after the whole, you know, immigration, blah, blah, waiting for my box. When I came in, it was around 1 a.m. And I didn't feel scared. I don't know if you get what I mean. Like I felt safe. Though there's a way you feel safe. Like a place feels safe because by 1 a.m. people are, I think they have a coffee. I think they have a coffee. I don't know if that still stands, but I think the coffee is for clubs and a lot of gathering and stuff like that at a certain time. I need to confirm that. I saw it online, but I don't know if it's still. But when I came in, like it just felt safe. And this safety is not because you're seeing people with guns or everywhere, like security everywhere. Like you're like, if you've been to Zanzibar, you get what I mean. It has this sense of safety without actually seeing uniformed people around, if that makes sense. So yeah, Rwanda was so calm. Rwanda gave me this peace that I didn't know I needed. See, if you've had like a very hectic time, maybe in Nigeria, maybe in the US, maybe in Canada, the best place to go and rest is Rwanda. It's calm. The air is clean. The weather. Did I tell you guys that the hotel didn't have AC because I think the weather is something I have to come back to again. So yes, the environment is calm. So many greens. So it gives this feeling of like, you know, safety and nobody is, I didn't like feel like anybody approaching me, if you get what I mean. Like you're walking and people are just literally like minding their business. So I didn't feel like people looking at me or trying to have a conversation with me. I didn't have that, except you ask them. Now, another thing is respect for rules and systems, right? Rwanda respects rules. They follow. They're very orderly. Like, even at because when I came in, like, it was the plane. When I was going, the plane was going to the flight was going to Ghana from Ghana. So we had more Nigerians. So these things that we do when Nigerians find it difficult to stay in queue. They're like, no, 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 everybody back. Like, no rush. Listen, let me tell you something. If you're going to the airport, go on time, because these guys are not rushing nowhere. They don't have that sense of, oh, let's hurry up, let's rush for this, let's beat the queue. No, they like rules, like follow the rules. They want you to wash your hand. You can't tell them, oh, I washed my hand before. No, they don't also like people taking pictures of uniform men, so please try not to. If you do that, delete it immediately. Don't try to like argue with them and things like that. So then there was a place I was on a bike and we were going somewhere, and we saw like some policemen, and the policemen were like telling bikes to use the other way. The other bikes, just immediately he separated them, because I think trying to reduce traffic. So he told some to go right and told the other ones to use the other way. Normally, like, you'd have been like going back and forth with police people, like, what is it that, arguing and all. No, they respect rules. They don't play with their rules and regulations. So it's that is a system that respects rules. Like I said, it gives the place where it helps it organize. It makes it feel organized, because it's actually organized. Ease in getting around. Transportation, I like that they have different modes of transportation. They have bike. I don't use bikes in Nigeria. If you've been to Nigeria, you know why. I don't use bikes in Nigeria, but their bikes are clean. They have helmets. And after, like, when I went when work had closed, I loved that young people were like flying the bike. A lot of them, you just see them with their laptop, because work had closed, so they were coming from work and they were on bikes. Then they have buses, they have electric bikes, they have buses, they have this, we call it keke in Nigeria, but I think I'm going to put the video. If I see it, it looks more organized. So because there are different means, it helps to reduce this pressure. In Nigeria, there's so much traffic because everybody has to buy a car, because if you're not driving, what next? If you're not like the public transport, except the train in Lagos, the buses are not good, the bikes very unruly, the keke, breeze can just carry you people and everything. So I liked that. It helped students to avoid all this. Why is a student trying to buy a car? It's like one thing I love about living in the UK is the transportation. The fact that, you can just enter a bus and you can just be in the UK for a while and not even buy a car. That is what Rwanda has as well, that I really liked. I liked the way that it was so easy to move around. Yes, that was a place that was like, 30 minutes, and the guy was like, oh, don't worry, it's okay, use a bike. And I was like, is this safe? They're like, yeah, it's very safe. You don't see cars trying to intimidate bike like they do in Nigeria. You don't see them trying to intimidate bikes. You don't see them like not wearing their helmets. You don't do that. You see them well organized. They know where they are meant to park. They obey traffic lights, guys. Yes, bikes obey traffic lights. Another thing is strong sense of national identity. Yeah, people are intentional about progress, and you're going to know why. I'm going to talk about it next, because I even talked about it in my center. They are very, very, very intentional about progress. There's just something that speaks unity. They are one, and development just feels collective, like everybody's doing things together, if you get what I mean. There was this sense of unity that I could feel. And when I went to the Kigali Genocide Center, it made sense. One, they're preserving their history. Two, after what they went through, if you go to this center, you appreciate everything that is happening in Rwanda. You appreciate the growth. You will appreciate, the unity that I'm talking about. You will know why. Like, example, when you come to the hotel, it's just something this small, right? But the receptionists are always like smiling at each other, laughing. Then the people that serve you, like when you go to the restaurant, right? There's no, you don't feel any sense of competition, you know, this subtle competition. No, 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 there was this sense of unity, like they love their own, right? Even with everything that they've been through, you can put many content now of people telling you don't go to this country is bad, but you hardly see people from Rwanda set up their cameras to be trash talking. No. And that has also really helped their tourism. Yeah, so I love it. Then another thing is that it's very business friendly. I know you guys are waiting to hear this in case you want to start business. It's business friendly for a reason. One, there's light. Two, the weather. I love the weather, right? And for me, that also feels like walking for me was like walking was easy because I didn't have to think about solar or generator or like light going off. No, even I guess what? I did not see any heater. So I read the paper that said that the welcome paper actually said that they generate heat from the sun or something like that. So if you wait for 15 minutes when you turn it on the water, if hot water doesn't come, you should call the receptionist to help you. So they are very big on, you know, energy saving. Do you get what I mean? They are very, very big on that. So for me, working and starting up a business there feels good because it's calm. It's not noisy, if you get what I mean. So if you're a very calm person or your work just requires calm working, thinking, it will help because you can actually work at night. The weather is so cool, it's chilly, there was no AC. So when I came at first, I was like, no AC, this place will be hot. The weather is cool, it's not freezing cold and it's not hot. So I think it's one of the best weathers I've ever experienced, and I've traveled. I'm not exaggerating. It's cool. Yes, I love the weather. I love their hospitality, their politeness. They are very polite. So because they don't speak, for a lot of them that do not speak English, but they know the basic, right? So when I go to like get transport, do you know what these people do? Where are you going? They'll tell you, all I needed to do was to show them the hotel. For those that don't know it, so what they do is that they take the number of the hotel and call the receptionist, and the receptionist will direct them. So if you're going somewhere, let's say you're going to visit a friend now that lives there, just give them, they have these small phones that, not the ones that use internet, or just, I noticed that all the bike guys had it, they have the small phones. So they will call the person for you and the person will be directing them, so you're fine. And another thing I like is that nobody's trying to feel smart, like in terms of cheating you and call it smart. I say that because whenever we are going, the guy will negotiate, the receptionist will help me negotiate with the buy guy or the taxi. And when you get there, that's what it is. If they tell you 500, that's what it is when you get there. It's not when they get there, you know, these things that people do, start saying, I didn't know it was this far, ma. You add extra 200, you add extra 100. No, that thing, that amount you guys agreed is what it is. So I like that they are very, 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 very helpful when it comes to that. It's not, and then if you're also into tech, I saw a lot of young people. I think one of my highlights was when I went when work had closed, just seeing a lot of young people with their laptop come out. It made me appreciate the place. And so if you're intentional about growing a business, growing something, Rwanda is also no, unlike Nigeria, it might be slow depending on the kind of business that you are looking to grow. Yes, it's not where you go and say you want to open a factory where they sell human hair of 1 point something million. No, but if you're intentional about building something, right, it's also somewhere you can go and look around and see what you can build there. It will be slow, but because obviously they're still developing, but it will be worth it. And my highlight for me, the entire stuff, was the genocide center. That was my highlight. I made a video immediately I came out there. You know, it just reminds me of how much we need peace. Peace. I made a whole video. You can check it out so that I don't repeat what I said in that video again. But you know, and then how they preserve their history and how they're like, no, this thing happened. We do not want it to happen again. So because of it, they are very, like I said, they are very intentional about their building. They're very intentional about tourism, because when you think about tourism, it's about what the airport, what's the look and feel in the airport when you come out, right? It's about the fact that it's clean. It's about the fact that you can easily get around. It's the small corner shops that you get to see. It's things like that makes you know that these people are ready, and right now they're making a lot of money from tourists because a whole lot of creators are going there recording these things, and they are bringing in more people because a lot of people rely on creators to know the countries to go. So yes, if you're ever thinking of going to an African country, I 100% recommend Rwanda for visit. Now to move there, that's on you. When you go there and see that it's kind of place you want to move, it's on you. Some of us still like the loudness of Lagos. So yes, yeah, I do hope you love this video, and if you have any question, maybe a part I omitted, you want to tell me. Yes, their money is like our own naira. So basically, if something is 15,000 of their money, Rwandan francs, is that what it is? It's like 15,000 naira. So that's just how you see it. If they tell you something is 20,000, just know it's 20,000 naira. Then in dollar is not that much. So I went with my dollar card, and I also changed money. So my ATM worked there. Yes, my ATM worked because I withdrew money. My dollar card worked because I also used my dollar card to pay. A lot of people say they've been using their Nigerian international. Well, my dollar card is a Nigerian dollar card. So yes, our cards work, which is amazing, which helps you limit carrying cash because I am big on, card. But obviously when I went to the market, they were not taking transfer, or sorry, they were not taking so they were asking me for Momo or something. I didn't have that, so I just used the nearest ATM there to take money and use. So yeah, I highly recommend that you visit Kigali, and let me know when you visit. Like, come back to the comment and say, Sarah, I visited. It's true or it's not true, whatever. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. My name to remains Sarah Donald. If you like what you see, do well to subscribe. And yes, for the people interested in moving back to Nigeria, I have a book which is down in the description. You can click it. Thinking of moving back to Nigeria or thinking of just supporting this creator, you can download it. It's easy to read, storytelling style. You guys know how I do it. Anyway, my name is Sarah Donald, and bye.